In here we have tomatillas and we have tomatoes.
This prized produce isn't bound for the market. It's going directly to those who need it the most.
We're also able to contribute to the food bank.
But it's far from enough in the fight against hunger.
They grade these, and these would be kind of an A+.
Today, a look at the emergency at our local food banks.
1 in 6 people in Silicon Valley, 1 in 6 neighbors rely on us for food every single month.
Everybody needs some food to eat, right?
This is CBS News Bay Area with Elizabeth Cook.
I'm Ann Makovic in for Liz, and having food in the cupboard is something a lot of people take for granted, but so many people are not so lucky. This time of year, our local food banks always reach out to help our neighbors in need, but now there is a shortfall that is so severe, they just did something unprecedented. Today, we are shining a spotlight on the dire demand and asking how your donations can really pack an extra punch these days. Today is known as Giving Tuesday. It is one of the biggest fundraising days of the year. Since 2012, it's helped nonprofits raise more than $3 billion. But the group Giving USA says that donations were down last year. A decrease in donations is a trend we've been seeing here in the Bay Area. And as Max Darrow shows us, the situation has gotten so dire that leaders of the 5 major food banks did something extraordinary today, coming together to issue a warning.
Hunger is a problem that organizations across the Bay Area are working to fight on a daily basis, and they rely heavily on community support to do so. And today, on Giving Tuesday, numerous CEOs from food banks in the Bay Area came together to sound the alarm that food banks are seeing as great a need as ever, but support is not keeping pace with the demand. The event took place at Second Harvest of Silicon Valley. That's CEO Leslie Bacho at the podium. Also on hand, leaders from the Alameda County Community Food Bank, Redwood Empire Food Bank of Contra Costa and Solano, and the San Francisco Marin Food Bank. They say if the status quo persists of an increasing need and decreasing support from the community and from the government, their reach will not be able to go as far.
Along with the skyrocketing cost of living, insufficient government support for programs like CalFresh is also pushing more people than ever before into food insecurity.
So right now, we're in a situation in which we have to do a lot more with a lot less resources.
We want to remain nimble, and we need to do that with safety net support.
When funding is cut, it not only affects our ability to provide food directly to our neighbors in need, but also to our partner agencies.
Every dollar counts. Every hour counts. It means a vital difference to your community.
The leaders of these food banks say they are efficient, and a donation of food, time, or money really does go a long way. $1 translates to 2 meals, and today on Giving Tuesday, many of the food banks have matching programs in place that will take those donations even farther.
Yes, they do. And here's a look at some of those matches. Your donations would be doubled for Alameda County, Redwood Empire, and the Food Bank of Contra Costa and Solano. For the San Francisco Marin and Second Harvest of Silicon Valley banks, those donations will be tripled. This is through midnight tonight. Well, these greenhouses here were built for wine grapes, but they have a new purpose in the off-season. Coming up next, how they are being used to feed a specific need in the North Bay. Welcome back on this Giving Tuesday. We're talking about the crisis that our Bay Area food banks are facing as the need remains high and donations are down. As Len Ramirez shows us, the Redwood Empire Food Bank is getting a boost from a vineyard that's growing more than just grapes.
The massive greenhouses at Novavine in the Sonoma Valley were built to help young and tender grapevines grow for the wine industry. But this winter, they're growing hardy vegetables for hungry families.
Beautiful peppers.
That's Benito Vasquez, who's worked for Novavine for 20 years. Benito and his crew are harvesting peppers, tomatoes, tomatillos, and cilantro as part of a pilot program that keeps vineyard workers employed during the off-season while producing bushels of badly needed and culturally relevant food for the Redwood Empire Food Bank.
Well, it's very important because everybody needs some food to eat, right? So, yeah, we're just happy to get the supplies they need.
We have about 200,000 square feet of greenhouse space.
Novavine CEO Jay Jensen grew his company from a small family business in the 1980s into one of the most important grapevine and olive tree nurseries in California. But he needed to solve a problem: how to retain skilled workers during the off-season and keep his greenhouses busy year-round. A friend with a food bank connection hatched the idea of switching to vegetable farming during the winter to produce locally grown food during a time when it wouldn't grow outdoors.
This is one of our hoop houses, and in here we have tomatillas and we have tomatoes. And right now we're harvesting some of the tomatillas to be taken to the food bank today or tomorrow.
These crops were started from seeds last July and then transplanted into 5-gallon containers. The workers in the greenhouse give the plants everything they need.
They're getting heat, so we have bottom heat in these houses, so there's hot water circulating under the floor, so the heat comes up and keeps the root zones warm, which stimulates kind of aggressive growth and keeps the plants really happy. And at night, you know, the house might get down to 60 degrees, but it's not getting down to 40 or 35, and the soil's staying warm. So the plants are super happy.
And the food bank's Colin Davidson says the happy plants are producing bumper crops.
You know, if you buy these produce on the open market, they grade these, and these would be kind of an A+, which really aren't available to food banks. We're usually get B and C grade stuff through the Central Valley. So produce like this is just really normally bound for restaurants. So this is just exceptional quality, just amazing.
It's also the type of food that many of the food bank's Hispanic clients are hungry for but don't usually get through existing channels.
This is a real connection as to who they are. You know, this is the food that they grew up eating. This is the food that's part of their culture. And so to be able to connect people in that way, not just to any old food, I think it brings joy to them to be able to get this type of food.
Top quality produce. It could bring top dollar, but Jay is giving it away because he values the abilities of his workers like Benito, who for the rest of the year is a highly skilled grapevine grafter.
It's really a win for us, Novavine, and then we're also able to contribute to the food bank, and it's a real win for them and the people that use their services.
This first year of the program will keep 25 workers on the payroll instead of in the unemployment line.
Well, it's better to have, full year-round job. It's definitely better.
And it will produce about 35,000 pounds of fresh food, which will be shared with people in Sonoma, Lake, Mendocino, Humboldt, and Del Norte counties, many of them wine industry workers who were laid off for the winter.
We're really excited. And, it's really exciting to imagine this on a 10-time scale, which is kind of our goal to get there in the next year or two.
Fortunately, Jay has acre-sized greenhouses that can give the program room to grow. And just as importantly, he has valued and loyal workers who can help him take it there.
Well, joining us now is Barbara Abbott, the Chief Supply Chain Officer with the SF Marin Food Bank. Thanks for being here today, Barbara.
Thanks, Ann. Thanks
Let's
for having
talk about the need. We just talked about this unprecedented step of all the food banks coming together to sound the alarm. How bad is this?
It's real. We, even though people are calling this period post-pandemic, the need for us is still about 40% greater than it was pre-pandemic. We are feeding over 50,000 households every week. In pre-pandemic, we were about at 32,000.
So what are the factors that go into this? Is this inflation, unemployment? Why are things so bad now?
It's inflation has especially hit us hard. We are spending about twice the amount that we did pre-pandemic on food. We purchase a small amount of our food to kind of round out our menu every week. And we're spending twice as much right now.
Now, I know you rely a lot on donations and volunteers, but what about government supplements? And when we're looking at moving into another Trump administration, is that good? Is that bad? Where are we?
Well, right now we are down at all levels of government funding. As I said, really that was pandemic level funding, and that has ended for us.
Okay, so that was supplemental funding that was coming in, and then the need did not decrease with the funding that you were able to get.
Yeah, and we really do rely on private donations, and that is why the month of December is so important for us, and especially today being Giving Tuesday is very, very important.
Yes, because I know you have a lot of matches. So tell us about that, because a lot of people think, well, I don't have a lot of money to give, but these matches can like can't speak, but turbo boost somebody's donation.
Absolutely. We are super efficient at what we do. We bring in full tractor trailer loads of food. So for a $1 donation, we can turn that into what would cost someone $6 in a grocery store to purchase. Every dollar, we can produce 2 meals for that. And right now we have a triple match on from the Genentech Foundation. So that means for every dollar you donate, we can distribute 6 meals. So super important day for us today.
Yes, absolutely. And also year-round, a lot of people's companies have matches. So that's something for them to look into as well.
Yeah. Overall, December is very, very important.
Okay, let's talk about the rest of the year, though, because if a lot of your donations maybe come in December, is that what needs to float you the rest of the year?
It's a big part of our fundraising. Volunteers are really important to our work also. And we are feeding 50,000 households week in and week out. And those volunteers are really what makes it happen for us. So a lot of people think about volunteering during the holiday season, but please also consider maybe making it a New Year's resolution that you will volunteer with us in January or February.
Yes, yes, because the need certainly does not decrease. And let's talk about monthly donations as well, instead of maybe somebody putting a big donation down now. Would that be something that would help you sort of keep your budget a little more consistent?
We do have a monthly giving program, and that's all available on our website. And again, we are feeding the same number of families, whether it's December or February. So that's constant support is really important.
All right, absolutely. Barbara Abbott with the San Francisco Marin Food Bank. We thank you for your time and for your work year-round. We're going to be right back.
Thank you, Ann. Thank you.
Welcome back to our conversation on hunger in the Bay Area. Our Katie Nielsen shows us how a very cool teenager from Dublin is making a difference in Alameda County.
Yeah, we're here at the Alameda County Food Bank, and this is a season of gratitude, right? And what better way to put gratitude into action than making a difference for those who are facing food insecurities right here in our own community. I'd like to introduce you to Zion. Zion, you're only
13 years old.
And how did you get the idea to become involved with the food bank?
Well, fasting during Ramadan, you kind of feel what hunger really feels like. And I wanted to make an impact and make sure that while I was fasting, no one else in my community had to go through that same feeling.
And so what did you end up doing to raise almost $20,000 for the food bank?
So I got together with a couple of my friends and we started a Ramadan food drive. And we went and we got corporate sponsors, we pitched at our local mosque, and we were able to raise over $19,000, almost $20,000, and donate around 40,000 meals.
That is absolutely incredible. Michael, tell me about the impact this is going to have for the food bank.
So we can provide about 2 meals for every dollar that's raised. So this check alone is going to provide about 40,000 meals to our community. More than just the money and the meals, though, I think it's just amazing to see somebody of Zion's age step up and do what he did. A lot of people don't realize food banks, the biggest group that we serve are actual children. So to see a youth step up and help other youths, it's very heartwarming. And I think the impact of this is going to go far beyond and really inspire more people in our community to help.
Absolutely. Kids helping kids. I mean, absolutely incredible. Zion, thank you so much for everything you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
And if you'd like to make a difference, you can, of course, visit our website, kpix.com/give.
Yeah, he's doing a lot more good than I was at age 13. Thanks for watching. You can always get all the latest headlines and weather over on Pix Plus. And remember to like and click the button on the bottom left of your screen to subscribe for the biggest Bay Area news.